He is like totally out of it. I'll have to find some way to make him come to. Maybe a good slap would do the trick. Joshua, wake up!
No, Mommy. Please let me sleep 5 more minutes. Please. I was dreaming I was a super friend, and I was eating berries in the mountains of Alaska with Dorothy and Toto. It was so beautiful.
Joshua, it's me, Brian, your friend.
Nice to meet you, Brian. I bet you don't know what that name means. Well, I don't have a clue either. By the way, my name is Joshua, which means liberation. Boggles the mind, huh? You don't know how much love I feel inside.
I'd better leave him alone here with his paranoid ideas.
Are you saying that extraterrestrial life is a paranoid idea, Professor Scullery? Well, your bogus scientific theories are a bunch of baloney. And you're a big poser.
He's kind of a nutcase, but he seems like a good person. Listen, Ben.
What's on your mind?
Getting back to the topic of those berries and the salmon. Thanks, Ben. But I think you've told me all I need to know.
Okay, pal. What more can I do you for?
Forget it. Get back to your work.
Okay.
Darn. He seems to have fallen back into a dreamlike state. I'll have to shake him up a bit again. You have to remember that password, Joshua!
But I already told you the password. And I know it was the right one because Auntie M said so. You have to let me in. Plus, that treehouse is mine. And if you put your dirty mitts on my Space 1999 trading cards, you'll feel my wrath.
Man, your zipper's open. I can see your Woody.
Daddy, no. I didn't kill little Woody. I swear. He flew into the path of my self-propelled intergalactic rocket on purpose. To break it. That woodpecker hated me, Daddy. The other day, he started pecking away while I tried to study for my math test. Now he screwed up my science project. I hope he's happy now, cause he did. I'm going to flunk science for the first time in kindergarten.
Joshua, it's me, Brian, your friend.
Nice to meet you, Brian. I bet you don't know what that name means. Well, I don't have a clue either. By the way, my name is Joshua. Boggles the mind. You don't know how much love...
Trantor's been destroyed by a huge meteor.
No! Say it isn't true.
Nothing's happened to Trantor. You just need to eat some raw salmon to remember the password.
Raw salmon? A lunatic wouldn't eat that.
You have to do it. It's completely necessary.
Well, guess what? I'm not gonna.
Not even with some W ketchup and freedom fries?
Yuck! I can't stand ketchup. What I really like doesn't go with salmon. I'm more of a fiend for chocolate, shakes, vanilla ice cream, donuts, peanut butter, apple pie, maple syrup, caramel smoothies.
Is there no way to convince you?
No, Brian. I am a civilized person. A decent Tranto Japanese American. And I don't eat raw animals. You think I'm some sort of polar bear?
What did you say you are? A Tranto what?
Tranto Japanese American. A resident of Trantor. Of Japanese origin. Born in the United States. Quite a mix, isn't it?
Japanese? So you do have some Japanese blood in you?
Of course, what do you think? My ancestors were samurais. I believe my grandpa's the one who came to the States, but I haven't really studied the family tree.
Well, if you're Japanese, whatever, you must love sushi, right?
Oh, hi, Brianson. Mackerel, tuna, halibut, octopus. It's almost the only gourmet food I enjoy, besides desserts.
What about salmon? Do you dig salmon sushi?
Well, if there's nothing else swimming around, yeah, I'll eat it with pleasure. By the way, did I mention I'm dying of starvation?
I'll get you a salmon, or my name's not Brian. Don't you worry, you'll be getting ready for the most delicious plate of sushi you've ever had in a jiffy.
Oh, dear Brian, we geniuses don't cook. If nobody's around to make our meals, we just order out for pizza or bite our nails. But under no circumstances would we waste any time on something as mundane as cooking.
Wow, he was hard to convince, but this is better than nothing. I have no choice but to look for someone who will teach me to make salmon sushi. Listen, Ben.
What's on your mind?
You wouldn't happen to know how to make sushi, would you?
Well, as you guessed, I don't know how. And go figure, because I've been to Japan a couple of times, but I know nothing beyond traditional cooking. In steak with mashed potatoes, I have eyes for nothing more.
And I'm assuming you don't have a book with the recipe for salmon sushi?
For sushi? Not as I recall. But if you want, I have a great one for grilled salmon. I could win the Iron Chef with that recipe, especially if the salmon's fresh.
Do you know anyone in this area who knows how to make it?
If anyone would know about that, it's Professor Simon's cook. I think he's from China, somewhere around there. But today, here's his day off, so I doubt you'll find him around. Well, then there's Archibald, but if I were you, I wouldn't want to meet him.
Archibald? Who's that?
Some say he's either Bigfoot, a serial killer, a 200-pound gremlin, or people say the darndest things. Satch, the pizza guy from Sicily, says he saw him a short while back. He was coming to deliver some pizzas to me when he heard a noise in the back of his pickup. When he got out, he saw a running shadow and chased it until he lost sight of it. When he returned to the pickup, they'd stolen the pizzas and opened up the engine. He couldn't get the pickup started, so he had to leave it around here somewhere. He's sure it was Archibald, but actually it could have been anybody.
Do you know what Archibald looks like?
The last thing I heard is he's 6'7", has a flat head, green skin, and a body full of scars.
Do you have any idea how I can find him?
No, pal. You don't find Archibald. He finds you. You may be asking yourself, why is Ben saying that? Well, because that's what happened to me. Not once, but twice.
So, you say you've seen Archibald?
No, amigo. I didn't tell you I had seen him, but that I'd been with him. As for seeing him the way I see you now, never.
What happened the first time you met Archibald?
The first time? Oh yeah, it was Christmas Eve. I picked up my guitar, went out on the balcony, sipped down a mug of beer, and started singing A Christmas Carol. I hadn't finished the first bar when I felt a sharp object in my back, as a whispering voice told me,
John Lennon sang Christmas carols much better than you, and look where he ended up. Your end may be much more cruel and imaginative.
I stopped playing and asked, "You're Archibald, aren't you?" But there was nobody there.
What happened the second time he found you?
I was sitting here having a beer when I recognized his voice.
I'm going to give you some emergency anesthesia. If you move, I'll leave you dumber than you are now.
I felt something hit my head, and I fell to the floor. When I woke up, I saw I'd been blindfolded. Well, actually, I didn't see it, but you get my drift. I said, "Where am I? Who are you? What do you want from me?" I thought my kidnapper was a competing bear scientist, so I yelled, "You'll never get me to tell you my theory, no matter how hard you torture me." But that wasn't the deal. He said his name was Archibald, and that he was a chef. He just invented a tarantula venom salsa, and he wanted to experiment with me to see if the venom was still poisonous after being boiled. Thank goodness it wasn't, but it was quite a laxative.
You have no clue about where his house is?
Well, no. I've scoured the area many times, but I can't ever seem to find it. I'm starting to suspect he lives in a hole, like a bunny rabbit.
Well, let's stop talking about Archibald for now.
As you wish, but don't ever call him Archie. He gets mad with rage.
Forget it. Get back to your work.
Okay.
Man, that's a great idea. If I play the right song, maybe I can get that Archibald guy to show up. I better go outside so he can hear me all right. Here we go.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun is it to ride on a one-horse open sleigh? Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun is it to ride on a one-horse open sleigh?
Hey, you!
Darn. Wait for me.
That's too bad. His nose didn't even bleed.
Can you tell me why you just tried to do me bodily harm? Forget it. I don't feel like arguing. You must be Archibald from what I've heard.
Well, you must be a moron. And from what I've heard, a worse guitar player than your father.
So, how is it you met my father?
From hearing him play on that very balcony there. Or isn't your pop that bird brain with the bears?
No, I believe you're mistaken. Wazowski's not my dad.
I'd swear you guys were family. I find it hard to believe backward evolution is widespread among humans.
Hey, he doesn't look like...
The same ape-like expression on your face, the same lack of musical knowledge, and bad taste from the look of your clothing. No, there are just too many coincidences.
Listen, Archibald, I'm warning you that...
All right then, let's look at it from a more entertaining perspective. I know a game called Give Me One Reason Why You Shouldn't Die at this very moment. You'd like it. The end's supposed to be a killer.
Don't leave. There's more to come.
God, who rebooted this kid?
You have to help me. My friend got sick from some wild berries, and you're the only one who could whip up the antidote.
You got the wrong idea about me, mister. Even though I'm smarter than most of them, I'm not a doctor.
I've heard you're a whiz in the kitchen.
Mister, I am much, much more than that.
Where'd you learn to cook?
By cooking. How else do you think people learn? But of course, I studied at the finest schools in Paris with the greatest chefs. All I can say is, though, they learn more from me than me from them.
You must have worked in the finest restaurants, I'm sure.
Yes, all the ones they won't let the likes of you into. But I grew tired of half-baked cooks stealing my recipes and using them to get the best reviews in the Guide Michelin.
The truth is, looking at you here, it's hard to picture you in a white apron and a chef's hat.
Hey kid, I can easily picture you in a shroud lying in your coffin.
Anyway, getting back to what I was saying,
Good lord, what an annoying person. If I'd known, I would have acted like a sane individual and made you swallow that bleach.
I need you to tell me how to make sushi.
I don't have to explain anything to you. Did you explain to me about the expired syrup they gave you when you were born?
Do you know Professor Simon?
The best thing I can say about him is I hardly know him. He doesn't bother me with nonsense, and he doesn't make a bunch of noise with a guitar. The guy is nice and quiet in his mansion. Doesn't bug anyone or show his face. Now that I think about it, I kinda like him.
I have money. If you help me out, I'll pay whatever you want.
Well, obviously there had to be something good about you. But I'm warning you, I don't come cheap. And I don't work for scraps.
Are you sure you can't teach me to make sushi?
I've mastered the art of cuisine, but I hate the world of education. You want to learn a trade, commit a crime, and sign up for a vocational course in prison. When they let you out, you'll know something useful other than fishing soap chips out of urinals, and you'll no longer be a parasite to society.
You charge that much for your services?
Price is a relative concept, kid. It depends who asks me, what they want, when they need it, and more than anything, what side of the bed I woke up on.
Are you familiar with making salmon sushi?
Does the Pope pray? Kid, you stand before the former chef of Japan's Imperial Palace, the man who introduced the West to sushi, tempura, and sake. And if that's the dish you want, it won't cost you a cent.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Yeah, because I can refuse to make it for you. I only work my cooking magic when I'm given each and every one of the proper ingredients, and I'm missing some essentials for sushi.
What ingredients go in sushi?
I don't see why I should tell you, but okay. It contains rice, nori algae, soy sauce, wasabi, ginger, a touch of sugar, a dash of salt, and in this case, salmon.
Which ingredients are you missing?
The salmon to start with, the nori, the wasabi. No, I guess I could achieve a similar effect if I mixed Dijon mustard with apple vinegar and some mint toothpaste. I think I have some soy sauce and ginger around here, so that would be it. Well, I don't have any chopsticks either, or a bamboo mat for rolling up the maki sushi.
I'm not 100% sure of all the ingredients that you're missing, but I could try to find them somewhere around here.
You don't know what the salmon, nori, chopsticks, and bamboo mat look like? Your lack of culinary culture is at par with your IQ. Look around if you want, but I doubt you'll find them all.
Getting back to what you were saying,
You really like to analyze things in depth.
if we were to get all of the ingredients, how much would you charge me to make one dish of sushi?
That depends, kid. How much have you got?
My first thought is I have nothing. Will that be enough? Hey, did you hear me? I said I don't have anything on me.
If you have nothing to offer, I have nothing to say. And of course, nothing to make for you. Can't you get that into your head?
Well, I do have a state-of-the-art cell phone with a 3CCD camera. It also hooks up to the net by WAP, has an MP3 player, a hairdryer, a GPS tracker, and a C3PO universal translator.
A phone? Who would I want to talk to? Plus, the cameras in cell phones can be activated by remote control, and the CIA guys are no dummies. I'd rather keep an eye on you, just in case one day your idiocy grows to dangerous levels.
It's not about what I have on me, but rather what you'll be taking away with you. I will make you the recipient of my eternal gratitude, my lifelong friendship, and my unconditional love.
Save it for when you try to hook up at AA or the Salvation Army or wherever you end up rotting. I only want money, or you can take your god-awful music elsewhere.
I think I've got about $1,000. Is 50 okay?
No, 1,000 will do for me. It's a done deal, kid. You get the salmon, the mat for rolling up the sushi, the chopsticks, and the algae. And I'll take care of the rest.
Thanks, Archibald. I'll be seeing you.
That's a true threat coming from you.
But how will I find you?
Just whistle. if you know how. But you'd
Thanks.
better not bother me without a good reason.
This feels like one of those old movies. If I whistle, he'll come running. What a nut! Great. The important thing is to focus on getting the ingredients this guy needs to make the sushi for me. It's occurred to me that, yes, I bet I can use that Chinese sign I grabbed at Wazowski's as a makeshift mat. What a relief. One less thing to worry about. And this leaf I picked up for Rutger could be used as nori. It's always nice to know you've got half the things you need without moving a finger. Yeah, I think I've earned it. It isn't full, but there's quite a bit left. Luckily, it's closed tight and didn't break when that nutcase threw it at me. Nah, better leave it where it is. If I need it, now I know where to find it. That's a pretty rough-looking axe, but it seems handmade. It's not the most ideal tool, but if I cut it in just the right spot, maybe I could carve something resembling chopsticks. Well, it can't hurt to try. Oh, look at that. I did a pretty good job. Yeah, great idea. The knife's not very sharp, but I could use it to cut a lengthwise strip which could then be lifted like a visor. That way, whoever puts the head on can see where they're walking. Done. Hope it works. Okay, let's check out the results. It's a little stinky, but now it looks a lot more like the head of a polar bear. Great idea! I'll make a hole in the ice. Let's get to work. Perfect. Euclid couldn't have drawn a better circle. Dude! Phew! I thought he was coming after me. Looks like he just wanted to use the hole to fish in, though. I'll have to come up with a way to shoo him off. Listen, Ben.
What's on your mind?
I'd like to ask you for a few cooking-related items.
Sure, my friend. If I have them, they're yours.
Fresh salmon.
You know, I had a salmon steak that Chow gave me, you know, Professor Simon's cook, but this morning my stomach started to growl and, well, I fed it to the bears. Yeah, that's it. The real, honest truth. You bet your bear hide.
I don't think you're gonna have everything I need, so just forget it.
It's up to you.
Forget it. Get back to your work.
Okay.
All right, I'll leave it on top of his backpack to give him a surprise. There we go. Ben!
What's up, amigo?
Surprise, my friend. Look what you've got in your backpack.
The head of a bear? Very well done, but what variety of polar bears does that head belong to? I can't seem to place it.
Well, it's actually from a moose.
The moose polar bear? Not familiar with that species, but I've never been to a moose myself. Where's that located? Anyway, I don't think there's much of a difference between polar bear species anyway.
Of course not. The time has come, Ben. Now that your disguise is complete, you can totally infiltrate the inner core of the bear community without a fear. And what better way to begin than by trying to fraternize with that bear down there, fishing in the frozen river?
Yeah, why not? I've been observing that specimen for some time, and it may be a good contact to start with. It's a youthful cub whose growth isn't complete. Though, you can never trust them. They can rip your head off with one swipe of the claw. Well then, the moment of truth has arrived.
Come on, buddy. I know you can do it.
Here we go. A touch of ferocious bear essence will help too.
No, I'm not giving that to Wazowski. This is the ferocious bear essence that Wazowski sprinkled on himself before approaching the bears.
I was unable to get as far as the bear. No sooner did he see me than he whipped out his claws, showed off his fangs, and prepared to jump me.
Yes, excellent idea. But I've got to get rid of Wazowski first. If he catches me, my little joke won't be funny. Better not. I don't want Wazowski to get upset with me. Yes, excellent idea. But I've got to get rid of Wazowski first. If he catches me, my little joke won't be funny. Yes, excellent idea. But I've got to get rid of Wazowski first. If he catches me, my little joke won't be funny. Listen, Ben.
Well, what's on your mind?
Forget it. Get back to your work.
Okay.
Yes, excellent idea. But I've got to get rid of Wazowski first. If he catches me, my little joke won't be funny. Listen, Ben.
Well, what's on your mind?
Forget it. Get back to your work.
Okay.